You join me, ladies and gentlemen, in my editing hot seat. In fact, it's a little bit hotter after that curry I had last night. In this video, I want to share with you how I got from this to this using some new AI editing tools. I want to see if we can come to some kind of conclusion to whether these tools are going to help us in the future or they're just going to take photography beyond what we see as acceptable. I'm sure everybody watching has got an opinion on this, so share yours with me in the comments section below and we'll launch into the software. So as you can see, I've already done some basic edits like tweaking the contrast, highlights and shadows and boosting the exposure a little bit. The next thing that I want to do is just do a bit of keystoning because my verticals are converging, and because the sign is my subject, I want that to look like it should look in real life and look straight. So let's apply that. And now I would just want to do a bit of cropping because I think that the stuff off to the left and the right is just a bit superfluous to requirement. So I'm going to go with that 3:2 crop, just so everything looks neater and your eyes start following those lines into the middle of the photograph a bit more. So that's looking all a bit more hunky-dory now. So what I'm going to do is start off with some colour edits. And because that green of the grass is just standing out a little bit over the sign for my liking, I'm just going to take the luminance of that back and a bit of saturation as well. So our eye is drawn more to the sign. Talking of the sign, we could maybe increase the vibrance and the luminance of that as well, just so our eyes are knowing exactly what to look at in the frame and my subject is standing out as much as it possibly can do. What I might do here actually is go to the advanced and just actually select the colour of the sign so we can concentrate on that particular area, so it's not necessarily affecting all of the other blues within the frame as well. So a little bit of a tweak of the lightness and saturation on that, and we're definitely coming into the realms of this sign is standing out now. And with a bit more tweaking with the reds and maybe also the yellows as well, then we should be able to definitely see that the sign is what I want people to look at. Ooh, that's a bit too far. So here we can get onto the exciting stuff, the AI stuff. So I'm going to select this AI mask tool here. And I'm going to start a new layer and call it AI mask 1. There we go. So now when I hover over the parts of my photograph, you can see that it's going to select whichever part I want to select. So I'm going to start off with the sky and fiddle around with the luminance and saturation of that, just to make sure that the sky doesn't clash too much with the sign. So we could maybe pull the luminance up slightly to make that sky a little bit brighter. I might want to pull the saturation down ever so slightly to make the blue of the sign stand out more, and maybe tone the highlights down a little bit as well, so we've got that contrast but the sky still looks natural and it's got detail in it. So now I think it's about time that we created another mask, because I think that wall's looking a bit dark and shady. So let's call this one creatively AI Mask 2. I bet you didn't see that one coming. And what we'll do is we'll once again select the AI Mask tool and this time click on the area of the wall. Now, I don't like the fact that it's paling off into shadow, so I'm going to start off by increasing the exposure. The other thing that I don't like about it is it's too blue, so I might just start by warming it up a little bit, but actually I don't like the colour of that either. So what I will do is once again go down to the colour select tool and desaturate this wall, because then we're going to have a neutral tone rather than it looking either too blue or too greeny. That's looking much better now. Now it's looking better, I might just bring up the shadows as well to make it stand out even more. So now we've sorted the wall out, I think we can create another AI mask on this area of grass down here. So what shall we call this? You guessed it, AI Mask 3. And what we'll do by selecting the AI mask tool again, we'll come down to the area of grass and just try and balance it off with the grass on the other side. Remember, we darkened the colour of that earlier on, so it's maybe contrasting a little bit too unnaturally with the colours and the brightness. So I'm going to start off by warming that area of grass up a little bit. I'm going to colour select it again so we can make some minor tweaks with the lightness and saturation just to bring it up a little bit more so it's not paling off into the shadows like that area of wall was. It's just all looking quite natural, still in relationship with the other bits, but it's just popping a little bit more and making our eye follow the lines. So let's finish off with a quick before and after, and yeah, it's looking much different, much more bright, much more in your face, and hopefully much better. I think we've taken it as far as we can in Capture One, so let's continue our adventure into AI by jumping into Photoshop. So through the magic of editing, we're now in Photoshop. And the thing that I don't like about this picture are these annoying signs. I want people to look at the Skeg Vegas sign. So I'm going to go up to this remove tool, and this is going to replace anything that I paint in AI brilliance. So the first thing that I'm going to do is just paint over this Skegness Raceway sign here, because that is the most annoying sign of them all. And hopefully, once it's processed, we're going to completely remove that sign. So it appears that AI thinks there should be another red annoying post there, so I don't. So let's paint over that, and hopefully we'll teach AI to say, actually, there isn't a red post there, it's just a plain background. That looks much better. So let's move on to this other bright red annoying sign on the wall in the background here, and the little disabled parking sign below it. Paint over that, let it do its thing, and hey presto, it's gone. But there is this black box, which again, with a bit more repainting, teach AI to think, actually, there's nothing there. Let's finish off with this little sign over here. Brilliant. Okay, so I'm just going to do a bit of tidying up with the spot healing brush. So with this, because the background's much more simple, I should be able to just one touch on these other disabled parking signs, and they should be no more. Goodbye, disabled parking signs. And also maybe a little bit of tidying up on the concrete base of the main Skeg Vegas sign here as well. And then we can start concentrating on this area of shadow, which the sign was casting that's no longer there, and maybe also a little bit of the red behind the sign as well of that old barrier. So we'll start off with that because that's poking through. I'll just use the square brackets to reduce the size of my brush. That bit's gone, fantastic. And let's paint over this as well, and let's get rid of that. The other side of the road's not looking great, but once we zoom out for the purposes of this video, then it should look okay. I would probably go back in and do a bit more afterwards, but as I say, we're wanting to speed through this. So let's get rid of this shadow as well. We can also get rid of this other bit of shadow underneath the sign, but because it's crossing the grass and the concrete, then no, it doesn't work. So we can always say that that's part of the shadow of the main sign. Nobody's going to know, are they? I think there are just a few more little extra things that we could get rid of, starting off with this red post here, which seems to be part of a barrier that's no longer there. I wonder why that is. I might also use the spot healing brush just to unfuzzinate. Is that a word? I don't think it is, but I might coin it, the edge of this tyre from where we've taken the post out. It still looks a bit fuzzy, but for the purposes of the speed of editing this video, then I might go back and tweak a few things afterwards. I'll also get rid of that bush and maybe a few other things as well. The thing is, once you see these things that you can take out, the more you see that you want to take out, just like these annoying light bits on the grass down here. So, conclusions. I think in this particular example, AI has helped me out a lot. Because if I wanted to remove those signs in real life, it probably would have involved a crowbar, some brute force, and potentially a visit from the law enforcement. I think so-called dramatic edits like these, when you're removing something that was there originally, can look far much more dramatic when you see the original picture first. If somebody was coming to this photograph fresh, having not known that the signs were there, then they probably would think, well, yeah, it's a photograph of a wall and a sign. What's up with that? From my perspective, the danger of these AI tools comes in the fact that it might make photographers lazy. Instead of thinking about what they want to do when they're out in the field making the photographs, they'll think, well, it don't matter, AI can sort that afterwards. But like with everything in photography, it always comes down to our own personal choices as individual photographers. And if AI helps us to get our intent across, then who's to say that we're wrong in using it? I must admit, before I made this photograph and did these edits, I would have thought that taking all of this stuff out would have been too far for me. But now I've done it, it's given me the idea for a little project. If you want to learn more about that, then make sure that you subscribe to the channel, because I'm going to be sharing my progress with you over the coming months. As I say, I'm sure you've got an opinion on whether oh, blimey. As I say, I'm sure you've got your own opinions on whether AI is going to be the saviour of photography or take it over and destroy it like some kind of evil dictator. Whichever side of the fence you're on, share your thoughts with me in the comments below, even if you're still kind of on the fence like me. And I'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.